She spent 435 days in detention, and the former Chief Minister of erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir has now been released. Mehbooba Mufti was detained after Article 370 that provided special status to Jammu and Kashmir was purged on August 5, 2019. Soon after her release, Mehbooba's daughter Iltija Mufti took to Twitter expressing happiness over her mother's release. She termed Mehbooba's detention as illegal and thanked everybody who supported them during tough times. Omar Abdullah, who was released in March, also welcomed Mehbooba's release. He, along with his father Farooq Abdullah, were also detained after the purge of Article 370, however, for a much shorter time when compared to Mehbooba. Let's get you the latest updates in the Hathras case this morning. The CBI team that's now probing this case grilled the victim's elder brother separately, and we understand it lasted for around 4 hours last evening. This after the probe agency found inconsistencies in his version of events on September 14th when the 19-year-old was brutally assaulted. The probe agency will be matching his statement with what he'd told the UP police earlier, and more rounds of his questioning are also likely. The CBI team also took the victim's brother to the spot where she was assaulted to help them reconstruct the crime scene. CBI, meanwhile, has expanded its Hathras probe team. Seema Pahuja, the Deputy SP from ACB Chandigarh, is leading the probe. Along with her, additional SP VK Shukla, who has recently completed the investigation of the Satankulam custodial death case, has been brought in, along with DSP RR Tripathi from ACB Delhi and Inspector S. Srimati from the Special Crime Team.
Central Investigation Bureau team in Hathras at the spot of alleged incident of gang rape and murder on September 14th. Then, at the spot where at 2:45 a.m. on 30th September, the cops burnt the body of the victim against family will. The victim's mother and brother were brought to the crime scene by the CBI as they are the primary eyewitness. And reportedly, they have stuck to their stand. The CBI team, armed with the case diary from Hathras police, will camp in Hathras till the probe is on. However, the probe begins in the backdrop of a most searing dressing down by the Allahabad High Court of the Uttar Pradesh Police. The ADG Law and Order Prashant Kumar and District Magistrate Hathras Praveen Kumar. The Allahabad High Court, after taking suo-motu cognizance of the Hathras incident on day 1 of the hearing, tore into the Uttar Pradesh Police and administration with shameful observations. If it were your daughter, would you have allowed the midnight funeral? Would you have dared to cremate the victim if she was from a rich family? How do you know the victim wasn't raped? ADG Law and Order should read the definition of rape. Ganga Jal sprinkled in last rites. You used kerosene. Dalits have same human rights as big business houses. Administration is speechless. They have no answers. The Hathras case has now become a battle of perceptions, with multiple narratives at play. With the Allahabad High Court now demolishing the UP administration on the handling of the case, one can only hope for a free and a fair probe, an investigation that will instill respect, at least in death, to this 19-year-old. Bureau Report, India Today.
Remember, there is not just the CBI that is investigating this case. The Enforcement Directorate is also looking into another angle. That's a financial angle in this alleged Hathras conspiracy. And the ED is likely to question 4 suspected PFI members in connection with this case today. The 4, including journalist Siddiqui Kapan, civil services applicant Masood Ahmed, PhD applicant Atikur Rahman and their driver Muhammad Alam, had been arrested near a toll plaza in Mathura. This was on October 6th. They lodged currently in the Mathura jail. They were on their way to meet the Hathras victim's family when they were arrested. It's been alleged that they used foreign funds to create disharmony. The money, as per cops, was not collected by fair means. Additionally, they allegedly used a website to also attempt and incite violence over the Hathras case. NCP chief Sharad Pawar has now waded into the row and the bitter war of words between Maharashtra Governor B.S. Koshyari and Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray over the reopening of religious sites. Pawar has written to Prime Minister Narendra Modi now, expressing his shock over the intemperate language used in the governor's letter to the Chief Minister. Pawar has asserted that the word secular is in our constitution and hence the Chief Minister is duty-bound to treat all religions equally. This recent face-off comes after the Maharashtra governor had pushed for reopening of places of worship in the state closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic and even asked Uddhav Thackeray whether he suddenly turned secular. To this, Uddhav in his biting response had said that he doesn't need a certificate of Hindutva from Koshyari.
The politics over faith in Maharashtra has escalated into a fierce face-off between Raj Bhavan and Sachivalaya. The BJP launched protest across Maharashtra for the opening of temples after the Aghadi government was adamant on keeping them closed because of the pandemic. From Siddhivinayak Temple to Shirdi Sai Temple, protesters raised slogans against Uddhav government.
उद्धव जी ठाकरे को खुद के निर्णय लेने की क्षमता नहीं रही। मुझे लगता है अहंकार से भरा हुआ ये सरकार है। उनको ईगो हर चीज पे हर इश्यू पे अहंकार से भरा हुआ है सरकार है।
सेक्युलर भावना से चल रहे वाली उद्धव सरकार को हम ये बताना चाहते हैं कि आप उनकी बात सुनकर हिंदुओं के ऊपर अगर अत्याचार करोगे तो हिंदू जमीन पे उतर जाएगा और जमीन पे उतरने के बाद आपको गाड़ देने का काम भी करेगा।
Even as the protest took place, Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari opened another front against Uddhav Thackeray. In a letter, he said, if bars could open, so must temples. Then he went on to taunt the Chief Minister, asking Uddhav whether he had suddenly turned secular. Uddhav, in a biting response, said that he did not need a Hindutva certificate from Koshyari, and the governor must not forget the oath he took in the name of secularism.
महाराष्ट्र में बियर बार वाइन शॉप सब कुछ खुल जाता है, पर लोगों को महज 1 रुपए की अब तक सहायता मदद न देने वाली ये महाराष्ट्र की सरकार मंदिर खोलने पर अड़िग है। क्या माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी का यही हिंदुत्व है?
देखिए, मंदिर और बार की आप जो तुलना कर रहे हो गलत है। रेस्टोरेंट्स खोल रहे हैं, राज्य के चुने हुए मुख्यमंत्री है, यहाँ कैबिनेट है और राज्य में जनता के हित में क्या निर्णय लेना है क्या नहीं लेना है उसका पूरा अधिकार राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री को है।
The conflict on opening temples comes at a time when the centre has been stressing that large gatherings must be avoided at all costs to keep COVID infection at bay.
किसी भी धर्म में कोई भी धर्माचार्य यह नहीं कहते कि लोगों के प्राणों को खतरे में डालकर त्योहार मनाया जाना चाहिए। कभी कोई भी भगवान यह नहीं कहते कि उनकी पूजा के लिए आपको बड़े-बड़े पूजा पंडालों में जाने की जरूरत है।
While debate of opening religious places rages, it's quite clear Maharashtra's COVID worries are far from over. It has highest number of COVID cases with load of over 1.5 million cases. With Sahil, Vidya and Kamlesh, this is Saurav Vakhtania in Mumbai for India Today.
Multiplexes are all set to open across the country under the Unlock 5.0 guidelines that were issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. Movie theatres across the country have made preparations for a safe return of patrons and will highlight the preparations made to the public. According to the SOPs issued by the INB Ministry, thermal screening of customers at entry points is a must. Customers will have to wear masks at all times and will maintain adequate social distancing. So for that, only 50% of occupancy can be utilized and the temperature inside the cinema halls should be between 24 and 30 degrees. Moreover, timings of shows should also be staggered in order to ensure that there is no overlapping of customers. The central government has allowed cinema halls to reopen on 30th September after 7 months.
For months, if you've been sitting at home, the unlock guidelines are now opening cinema halls across the country. And what are the COVID protocols that will be followed? We'll show you here. Once you enter a cinema hall, there will be a person who with a sanitizer, he'll ask your name and he will also check if you have an Arogya Setu. And then your thermal screening will be done by a person again posted here. All social distancing norms will be kept in mind. This will be the ticket counter. You can always book an online ticket and you can see markers here of social distancing that have been placed, and this is how people will need to stand. If you want to buy a ticket on the spot, cash facilities are also there, and now we'll take you inside the theatre from where we'll be able to go to the cinema hall. After you get your tickets and you enter a cinema hall, this will be the new normal. Each seat will be marked X after one seat, so leaving one seat in between. As per the government guidelines, that cinema halls must only have 50% seating capacity. You must only sit on the seat that doesn't have an X mark to enjoy your moving experience in the cinema halls. And once you step out of the cinema hall for intervals, yes, food will be allowed in cinema halls. And this is how they will be serving it. Social distancing markers have been placed right behind the counter and everybody will be wearing a face shield. This is going to be my popcorn box, which is going to be sealed already, and if I want to have any other snack item, that will also be put in a sealed box. As far as cold drinks are concerned, yes, beverages will also be placed in containers such as these, with straws available, and orders can be paid for in cash as well as on online payments. Remember that children from the ages of 6 and below and those who are older than 65 years of age will still not be allowed inside theatres for now. Shows can be seen, barring a morning show, a late night show will not start later than 9:30, and these are all the COVID protocols along with which you will be able to enjoy a cinema experience, and a safe one, as we move into unlock. With Vakar Ahmed, Milan Sharma for India Today.
MS Dhoni's Chennai beat Sunrisers Hyderabad by 20 runs. The Yellow Army registered their third win of the season. Ravindra Jadeja was the standout performer for Chennai. The left-hander scored a quick-fire 25 off just 10 deliveries. Jadeja's knock helped CSK post a challenging 167 for 6. The all-rounder did the damage with the bat, with the ball as well. Jadeja got the big wicket of Johnny Bairstow to derail Hyderabad's chase. Chennai's bowlers kept the pressure on and picked wickets at regular intervals as Sunrisers Hyderabad fell short by 20 runs. And tonight, Delhi will take on Rajasthan in match 30 of the IPL. Delhi's at the second spot but lost their last game. Rajasthan, on the other hand, registered a stunning win in their last game against Hyderabad. Rahul Tewatia and Riyan Parag starred in the Royals' win. Rajasthan will expect their big guns to fire. Delhi is one of the most balanced sides in the competition but will be without Rishabh Pant, who is injured. Dubai will host the tie. Action kick starts as usual at 7:30 p.m.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.